Hello, Alder here, and welcome to Cardiff, where today we will be doing a review of Great Western Railway's Class 43s between Cardiff Central and Bristol Temple Meads. Funnily enough, this is my 5th attempt at doing an HST review. The first one was absolutely perfect, but as life goes, I lost the footage. I did manage to get an HST on the second attempt, but it was just really busy and too dark and would have not really been up to standard for my videos. And the third and fourth attempts I just didn't manage to get one, which is a bit of a bother, but such is life. So enjoy attempt number 5. Let's walk over to Cardiff Central station where we can check the station out and then check one of the refurbed GWR Castle class HSTs for our 50-minute journey into Bristol Temple Meads and then change countries completely from Wales to England. Cardiff is the capital city of Wales and is one of the 4 capital cities of the UK. Overall, being the 11th largest city, people were first to believe settle here around 6000 BC, originally being run by the Silures, a Celtic British tribe from the Iron Age. The Romans took control during the Roman conquest of Britain, and the site of Cardiff Castle used to be a Roman fort. In 1081, Norman King William the Conqueror began work on this historic castle, which was then altered and extended during the Victorian period, and is now a key historic part of the city. Cardiff gained city status on the 28th of October 1905 by King Edward VII, and recognised as a capital city on the 20th of December 1955. Cardiff has a bay which is situated on the mouth of the River Taff, and to the southeast of it you can find Weston-super-Mare. A little bit of background information about our journey. We will be catching 2 Charlie 85, the 1700 service from Cardiff Central to Taunton. Some of them go up to Plymouth and some go to Penzance, but the majority, especially in off-peak hours, only go as far as Taunton. Mostly nowadays it's operated by a Class 800 or 802. We're now on the main street. Cardiff's a lovely place to walk in. Definitely if you are around Bristol or Bath or Wales, or just generally somewhere that's not too far from Cardiff, definitely come for a day, or even longer if you can. I know I've not been in loads, but whenever I come it's just beautiful. There's plenty to do. Although I'm a bit boring, I've not got the same things, but you know, they do lovely fry-ups, which is definitely Welsh cuisine. Things like Cardiff Castle, Cardiff Bay, the Millennium Centre or the National Museum, plus much more. There's a lot to do in Cardiff. And then in however many years, or if you're watching this in the far future, there'll be a tram network. And here we are, the brilliant, very stunning and very quaint Cardiff Central station, where I stand for like the third time announcing a HST review. Hopefully this is the last time I have to do that, and hopefully next time I stand out here it will be something else, but not an HST, because I'm probably too traumatised to do that. It's got engraved Great Western signage, a lovely quaint clock tower, and it's just generally very pretty. And then you have that brand new build thing here, which is still really pretty, but not quite as much as the station. But at least there's a prep. Let's get out of this rain, because otherwise I'm gonna drown. And we're here early enough that it's not even on the main screens yet, you have to look further. Cardiff Central is a major station, as it serves one of the key capital cities. Despite this, I find that this grand concourse isn't as large as some would expect. Despite this, reaching capacity doesn't seem to be much of an issue at most times. There are a large number of ticket machines and a ticket office with information, and there are a couple of eateries including Costa, Pumpkin and WH Smith. 20 minutes to pre-departure, we're on platform 1, as the HSTs always are, so let's go and ponder onto a platform. And here is our train, now arriving on platform 1, the HST configuration. Our front unit being 43027 and the rear unit being 43097. And as you can see, it is incredibly busy, which the single leaf doors, basically where there's only one small door at the end of each coach, definitely don't help with this. But the good thing is that we're now on board. Now the difficult game is finding a seat.
Western Milton, Western Supermare, Hydrogen Burnham, Bridgewater, and Taunton.
Success, I found a seat, so here's a seat tour. The legroom of the airline style seats is pretty good. There's enough space to stretch my legs, which is good. There is also a flip down table with a drinks holder and this weird thing which you pull out. I don't understand why, but I imagine it's meant to make it easier to open. I like this GWR finish at the back of each seat. There's no real reason for it, but it's good for decoration. There are also armrests. There's a flip down one on the aisle side and in the middle, and there is an armrest on the end as well, but it's fixed, which is a tad annoying. There's a quite pretty headrest at the top, which is slightly winged, which adds to comfort. And the padding of the seat, it's a bit firm. They're newer seats than usual. It's not amazing, but it does the job. There is some overhead luggage space for big bags and small suitcases, which is quite convenient, and an obsolete reservation holder. And finally, there is one 3-pin plug between the two seats, which for modern standards is quite poor, but it's better than nothing. And the standards have only recently changed. One of these units were put on shorter distance services from Cardiff and refurbished. They added a passenger information screen, or PIS, which gives service updates, and this is supported with automatic announcements as well, both making journeys a lot more accessible for those who may be deaf or blind, which is very ethical. Sadly, I had no footage of leaving Cardiff Central, so just pretend that we have left already, and we are currently now on the way towards Newport, our first stop. I'm not sure what this box is for, so if anyone has any suggestions or notes, please tell me. And 14 minutes after departure, we are now pulling into Newport, which is yet another city like Cardiff, and both of them form the Cardiff-Newport metropolitan area, as well as a number of towns in the South Wales valleys.
Great Western Railway service to Taunton.
I find it weird that within this line you can get from one large city to another large city in the space of 15 minutes, especially with what I believe to be no intermediate stations. Newport is one of the 7 cities in Wales, Cardiff being the capital, and it is situated on the River Usk, and it's 12 miles from Cardiff. Being in the name, from historic times it's always been a port, and Newport Castle was built by the Normans. Newport has also been important for manufacturing and engineering. The line up to Newport and Cardiff was electrified in 2019 as part of modernisation of the Great Western Main Line. This continues to Bristol Parkway and up to London. Right, let's take a quick gander of this train. At the end of each coach you'll find a luggage rack for large suitcases, super useful, and then the vestibule area, which is quite small and not really somewhere where you'd want to stand on a busy train, and a staff-only area. These trains have had pocketed sliding doors, which are automatic, installed as part of a modernisation into the castle class units. Before the refurbishment they were manually operated by hand, and well, they weren't particularly safe because of the risk that you could just stick your head out and it would be, well, not very good. And now we enter coach 2, which is basically identical as per first coach, and actually all of the coaches on this train look the same, so I won't go through all of them to bore you. Since being refurbished, the blue interiors have been switched to green, as you can see, and they generally look a little bit smarter. Finally, very conveniently, these trains have toilets on board. And here's the back, and silly me thought I was going to be able to see inside of the other cab to look through, but that didn't really happen. So, moving swiftly on.
When the doors are closing.
And we've now made it to our second stop of the journey, which is Severn Tunnel Junction. This is also the last stop that we make in Wales, before we go under the Severn Tunnel to get us back to England. And we're now on the move, so how about I share with you the history of the HSTs and how they are now here on these routes, their current situation, and their key importance to the British railway history. The HST, numbered Class 43, is a diesel locomotive which is also known as the Intercity 125 because of its regular top speed of 125 miles per hour. However, this class is actually the fastest diesel locomotive in the world, with the top speed ever being hit being 148.5 miles per hour, which was completed by 43.102 and trailed by 43.159. The first HST was built in 1975 by Sir Kenneth Grange, who is also known for the Kenwood food mixer. 197 HSTs were built in production, excluding 2 prototype units. They were the backbone of Britain's intercity travel, and you could spot them all over the UK. Listing every operator would take a while, especially after the privatisation of the rail network, but they have run on the East Coast Main Line, the West Coast Main Line, the Great Western Main Line, the Midland Main Line, Scotland on various different lines, as well as many other parts of the country due to the fact that they operated on cross-country, as well as for Network Rail on their new measurement train. This specific set has been nicknamed the Flying Banana, and for good reason too. Nowadays, at the time of filming, and just about at the time of upload, only 2 operators run these sets, being Great Western Railway and ScotRail. And for both operators there are plans to remove these and replace them. Despite the fact that they have mostly been removed from the day-to-day passenger network, most units still exist, some being given to freight and others being exported to other countries. Now, despite being seen as the fastest diesel locomotive in the world, on the routes they operate now, they don't operate that fast, but that's okay, there's no need for them to do that. Fortunately, no, this is not their top speed. And we are now leaving Filton Abbey Wood, which is the final station before we reach Bristol Temple Meads. So, it's only right that I reflect on my journey, almost a year after filming. The journey has been quite enjoyable, although the seating itself wasn't perfect. It was still good enough, and a rare experience to have nowadays. And just like that, we have now completed the journey, and we have arrived at Bristol Temple Meads. Normally I would have talked about pricing and how much it was and if it was worth it, but obviously I don't remember that, so unfortunately I can't. But I strongly assume, due to experience, it was well worth it. But yeah, it was definitely a great experience. I'd like to now thank you, the viewers, for watching. I don't know if you've had the sanity to watch me until the end, but if you did, well done. And I will let you now just finish this off and get on with the rest of your lives. Whether I return soon or later is a question I haven't decided yet, but regardless, bye for now, and I look forward to seeing you all again soon.